Tippy time, my damies, Top Cat here and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a Speaker's Sight build that heals both you and your allies. It's so strong in fact, it should straight up replace Obamacare, as we've got an 87.5 damage resist, restoration, cure and devour. But it all begins with that Speaker's Sight. Its perk is the Lost Voice. Our healing grenades spawn a restorative turret. This is active for 16 seconds and shoots out 5 healing buffs. These grant us a ×1 cure, which is active for 1 second, and restoration ×1, which is active for 4 seconds. So during this 16-second window, we've got restoration full time. And this build will have your healing turret back in 8 seconds. This turret also occasionally spawns orbs of power when healing. Occasionally is bungo speak for 1 per grenade. To get these so often, we first equip the Devour aspect. Upon getting an ability or debuff kill, we get Devour. This gives us back a full health bar on a kill and chunks of grenade energy. With 4 kills, we should hit that turret back to us. But as we can't kill with said turret, we need to lean on our melee to activate Devour. Our Chain Lightning melee got a damage buff and an AoE buff. It jolts, and this effect is larger whilst we're amplified. I chose this over the Incinerator Snap even though it's a better killing melee, as we really want that amplified. We'll circle back to that later. I'm using the Phoenix Dive. Rift works. I just find that half the time when you put down a Rift you're pretty much dead already. That cure effect we get from the Phoenix Dive, it really does save my ass all the damn time. And this is going to activate our new Helion aspect. This lobs lava at our foes. It has a 20-second lifetime, firing out Scorch every 1.3 seconds. By itself, the Scorch isn't that high. On a single target, it does 173,000 damage. But it does kill for me, stacking up my Devour and my grenade energy. But we're also using Facet of Ruin. This will increase our solar ignitions. This keeps our Scorch stacks higher for longer, giving us 2 additional ignitions, taking its total from 173 to 245,000. This fragment also increases the damage and radius of our stasis crystal burst. The Warlock's Transcendent Grenade suppresses and freezes. I use its Transcendence primarily for air clear, as it does this so well. I've really leant into that stasis side of it on my kit. I'm using the Aegis Scepter. Our Trace Rifle's got a 20% buff this season against reds. This puppy absolutely drops mofos even whilst we're 20 under light, and is really good against those champs. With that damage buff also, because things die a lot faster, I found to have a lot more ammo. I don't really need to run those special ammo finders on my helmet anymore. We got that creeping chill in the artifact, so with our stasis weapon final blows against slowed or frozen targets, this will release a burst of slow so we can again freeze for more of that juicy shatter damage. Sidebar, Bungo walked back season 23's chill clip nerf a bit, so chill clip works a whole bunch better now, so I'm dusting off that cold comfort. With Facet of Purpose, we pick up an Orb of Power, and we are granted a buff based on our super choice. We've already got Amplified thanks to our melee, so no Stormcaller. Restoration is covered by our turret, so I won't be using the new super, so you can pick between Strands Woven Mail, Void Overshield, or the new Stasis Frost Armor. I've chosen Winter's Wrath for when I'm running and gunning like in GMs and things, and then I'm swapping to Nova for DPS bake sales like in raids and dungeons. I chose to main the Winter's Wrath as I'm free-running for that 10-second timer over Woven Mail's 5-second timer. It may not be as much damage resist, but it's hard upkeep working with Woven Mail. Each Orb of Power gives us stacks. It stacks by 2 and maxes out at 5 for a 22.5 damage resist. But because we're running that Chain Lightning melee, we got amplified, so we got amped up in the artifact. This gives us an additional 30% damage resist. I use a weapon with Bolt Shot, so whenever I don't have a melee, I can get amped off of that. The Shield Crush perk will charge our grenades faster from being amplified, and our melees charge faster and hit 25% harder when we have Frost Armor. With Facet Protection, whilst we're surrounded by combatants, you're also 15% more resistant to incoming damage, even more so if we're Transcendent. We've also got dampeners on our chest piece, but I won't include those numbers here as these change based on our encounters. Plus we already got 80 plus damage resistance potential, that's frickin' plenty. We've got Facet of Hope. Whilst we have an elemental buff, our class ability regenerates more quickly. I'm running just 50 recovery, and I've got a Phoenix dive every 20 seconds. I've done this to line up with the Helio's 20-second lifetime. Lastly, with Facet of Balance, when we rapidly kill monsters with light damage, we get melee juice. Dark, we get grenades. This build has some nice wiggle room for our weapons and our supers. I've left a dim link in the description below, or feel free to pause here for all my mods, fragments and armor stats. Initially I had reservations, but the speaker's site is too busted to ignore. With 80 plus damage resist, Devour, Cure, Restoration, I vote Bungie for President. It's got a healthcare plan we can all get behind. All questions and suggestions are welcome down below. What super are you gonna pick? Make sure to thumb it if you dug it, sub if you're new, and as always, tippy tie my damies, what a tie.